Hi, I'm Leonid, and I'm in Lebanon. Lebanon is a country with an amazingly rich culture and history. Not so long ago, it was the center of financial and economic life in the Middle East. The country was famous for how cool, comfortable, rich, and pleasant it was to live here. But in recent years, Lebanon has plummeted into the abyss of crisis. Moreover, the crisis is total in all areas. People have no money, no water, no electricity, and most importantly, no hope for things to improve. On the one hand, I am interested in understanding how this happened and how this crisis is going in general, because it seems to me that it will be largely relevant to what has happened and may soon be happening in our countries. On the other hand, I find it very interesting how the Lebanese, in such a bad situation, managed to continue to at least pretend that nothing bad is happening. The Lebanese continue to live their beautiful life, enjoy every day of it, and pretend that everything is generally fine. Well, let's get started. We currently have an electricity crisis. They did nothing but fill their own pockets. They steal people's money and do nothing. Here, how much can I earn here? $100? It's nothing. You can't even buy pills. It's too expensive. There is no government here, my friend. In 2019, an economic crisis began in Lebanon and the local currency began to fall. Then the pandemic happened. Then a big saltpeter explosion occurred in the port of Beirut. It all came together like a snowball effect. And such a bad crisis began that it became the most severe in the entire history of Lebanon. Now the country has problems with absolutely everything, with money, with politics, with fuel, with electricity, with water, with food, and in general, problems with hope that this will someday be resolved. It's 100% true what he told you. Politics, economics, everything is not the same as it used to be. It's just terrible in Beirut right now. This is a disaster. All educated people are trying to leave. I'm an engineer. I completed my master's degree here and I want to go to France for my master's degree, or to the US, or any other country that gives me more opportunities than here. Why can't you be an engineer here? Here? How much can I earn here? $100? It's nothing. It's very difficult to go abroad now. They require proof from your bank account, so you can say you can afford to live abroad. But there are no more banks, and you can no longer withdraw dollars. We can no longer use bank cards. We can't even spend $1. Absolutely? Absolutely. We used to pay with them abroad or online, but this is no longer possible because the cards are blocked. Usually you pay in dollars, but now you can't even withdraw 1 cent. They stole our money. What about jobs here? Do people have jobs? Can they work remotely for foreign companies, for example? Yes, you can work online. I work remotely for a Canadian company, but it's difficult. First of all, you must be qualified. And second of all, there is no electricity here. The internet is very bad. There are many obstacles. If you came to Lebanon from abroad and brought dollars with you, then you can either be very rich or very poor. It all depends on the rate at which you exchange these dollars, because now there are 2 exchange rates in the country. There's the official one, at which $1 is worth 1,500 Lebanese liras, and there is a black market rate. Today, the dollar costs a little more than 24,000. That is, the difference is times 15. You cannot pay with a bank card because everything will be very expensive, as it will automatically be calculated at the official rate. All the payments are made in cash, and if you exchange $50, they give you more than 1 million liras. So everyone here is now a millionaire. I'm also a millionaire. It's a wonderful feeling. I'm happy to hear this amount. 45 banknotes for 2.
Easy?
How to exchange currency? It's very simple. Just go to any hotel, any large store. Ask, do you exchange? And they will immediately exchange everything you want. Actually, people have millions of dollars lying around at home. Due to the fact that the economy is collapsing and the exchange rate is rapidly falling, the banking system is also collapsing. I saw a lot of closed banks. People say that banks abandoned them and deceived them. If you had some kind of foreign currency in your savings accounts, you could no longer use them. That's it, they are blocked. In principle, it is prohibited to withdraw currency. Therefore, if anyone has any money left, they keep it in cash at home. And because the exchange rate is very high now, everyone has millions of money. A lot of cash. That's why there are advertisements all over the city for adding machines that count bills, just like in banks. Are you selling this camera? No, I don't need it. I have this one. This one is the best. This guy was just riding past me on a scooter, saw the camera, stopped and said, "Come here." He takes out the phone, shows me a photo of a Canon and says, "I'm selling." If you want to know how people live in other countries and see more of my travels, subscribe to this channel. The more subscribers, the more amazing places I can show you. Due to the economic crisis, due to the fact that the local currency is constantly falling, the Lebanese people have become very poor. And if earlier the average salary was somewhere around $800, it is now about $50 to $60. And people, in order to save at least some of the money they earn, every time after they get paid, they immediately go to buy dollars, $10 to $20, as much as they can, in order to save what they have earned. How old is she? She is not yet a year old. I picked her up on the street. I'll show you some pictures. She was really dying. On the street? Yes. So we meet Allah. We just met him. He says, "Guys, I'm sorry, I can't go for a walk. The cat is sick." And the first thing we did was take the cat to the vet. And here, next to the veterinary clinic, we saw a small stray cat. There's something wrong with her paw. She stands at the entrance to the clinic and looks into the hall, asking to be treated. It's very sweet, yet very tragic. This is a traditional dish. It's called lahme beajin. It's like bread. There's meat, onions, everything is mixed together and baked in the oven. This is a kufta. There's also meat, but a slightly different recipe. It's also baked. Is this what you eat for breakfast every day? Is this a traditional breakfast? A typical breakfast is hummus and ful. If you want, I'll show you this building so you can film it. We are now in the city of Sidon or Saida. This is the most incredible thing I've seen in Lebanon up to this point. And I think it's the most fascinating ancient city inhabited by people that I have ever seen, because Sidon is more than 3,000 years old. That is, 3,000 years ago, in the 10th century BCE, it was already the main Phoenician city, one of the most important trading cities of that time. Herodotus wrote about it as well. And then it was conquered by everyone who ruled here in the Middle East and in Europe. And all in all, this is an incredible place with a historical vibe. And I just still can't believe that people have been living here continuously for thousands of years. And we came here too, and life goes on. It has changed a little. Electricity has appeared. Modern clothes have appeared. Scooters ride instead of donkeys, but life goes on. As in the times of the Roman Empire and ancient Egypt. Can you imagine this? I can't. Look at those cuties. Hello.
That's a Russian. Okay.
You speak German?
Yes,
Wow.
very good Deutsch.
Ah,
Yeah.
why?
For Deutschland, I've 10 Jahre in Deutschland.
7?
Ja,
10
10 Jahre.
10 Jahre. Wow.
Ja.
Hast du
Eine Frage noch.
arbeiten?
Ha?
Arbeiten?
Ja,
Aha.
habe ich früher gearbeitet.
Wow.
It's a shame that I remember none of the German I learnt at school. Wow, my friend, this is delicious. Super. This grandma is amazing. Apparently, all grandmothers are the same everywhere. She gives me this food endlessly. I just can't keep up to eat it.
Und diese Hause, deine Familie?
Ja,
Ja.
das ist meine Familie.
For Wirklich auch.
Von 40 Jahren. So.
40.
Ja,
No.
40 Jahre traditionell. Oh, gefährlich.
شكرا.
شكرا اهلا وسهلا
Ist gut.
Sehr gut.
Well, we've paid a visit. They gave us food to take with us. Fantastic. Simply amazing. Marvelous.
Hello.
Almost all the Lebanese speak either French or English, and this is in addition to their native Lebanese Arabic dialect. The thing is that they have a fantastic school system. At school, you choose in which language all subjects will be taught to you, except I think geography, history, and a couple of other subjects. Everything else is taught either in English or French. That's it. In the end, you graduate from school speaking a foreign language fluently. We had no problems finding English-speaking Lebanese people. Here it is, a true meeting of eras. Walking along these ancient streets, it seems that now some ancient warriors with daggers will ride around the corner on donkeys. Then you walk into a random door and enter a pretentious computer club where children play CS. Everything inside is already quite modern, apparently, as the guys are doing renovations. Can I see? Let's go and have a look at their European quality renovation. Hello. Hello. Totally incredible. They say it's nice there. And a patio. Wow. In fact, the house is not that big. How many are there? 2 rooms, right? But what a great atmosphere. A spacious living room. There was a children's room there. Living room. The TV is ready. The most important element of the interior. And what amazes me is that in all this antiquity, there is a full toilet, a washing machine, a gas stove, and a microwave. Wow. Look, the food is coming. We're starting to feel the smells. Let me introduce you. I don't know if you've tried anything. This is our yogurt. It's not like sour cream. It's a little different. Even more sour. It's not served like in Europe with jam as a dessert. It is served as an appetizer. I ordered it with mint and walnuts. Now, here we have fried eggs with sujuk. Sujuk is cheese, right? No, it's sort of cold meat, packed with flavor and spices. Now, let me show you how we do it. You take a small piece of bread, roll it into a cone, and then scoop it up.
You dunk it.
So I'm supposed to make a cone. You can eat it with your hands. We are simple people, so this is how we eat. Delicious. You know, we Lebanese are a salad of many genes, many faiths and people. And that is the beauty of Lebanon. Doesn't it cause problems along with the beauty? No.
No.
Because
I mean, it's hard to.
Isn't it difficult for everyone to get along together when everyone is so different?
Yeah, but it's not.
We are used to it. After all, we were born in such a society. This is a mosaic. Different people and different religions, you know? Before the Civil War, until 1975, the majority of the Lebanese population was Christian. After the war, everything changed. Nowadays, the majority of the population is Muslim. In general, there are 18 religions in Lebanon, and they don't just live in the country, they are all represented in politics. This was one of the conditions when Lebanon gained independence. To balance all of these social and religious differences so that everyone can live in harmony. But no matter what people say now about them all getting along perfectly well, the difficulties and disagreements have not gone away. As the locals explained to me, because of this diversity, especially in politics, there have been more serious problems lately. Tell me about these 18 religions. How can it work out in such a small country?
The country is collapsing.
You know, the country is falling apart, so obviously it doesn't work. I can't even remember all of them. The president must be a Maronite, the prime minister must be a Sunni, and the speaker of parliament must be a Shiite. Interesting. Our parliament is divided in half. Half are Muslims, all Muslims in general, and the other half are Christians, all in general. Then Christians divide the places between their brands of faith, and Muslims divide between theirs. The head of the army must only be a Maronite. The chief general of the army is always a Maronite, and in our country, usually when he leaves office, he becomes president. If they don't do this, we will have no president for a couple of years. The head of the police must be a Sunni Muslim, and absolutely everything that we should have is divided according to religion. Everything.
Oh my God.
Everything.
Even if you, for instance, want to hire a forester, he must be of a certain religion. There are 6 Muslims and 6 Christians in our basketball team. Look, all religions are represented in the government. Do you think it works, or everything needs to be changed because it is outdated? What do you think?
Actually,
What do you think?
I think this will change over time, but I think right now it's okay. Ask me why. Because, let me clean my beard. Because seats in parliament are divided between regions, and our regions are also divided. There are completely Muslim ones, there are completely Christian ones, or mixed ones, like in cities. Now we are in a completely Christian district, for example, and it's normal that our representative is a Christian. There would be no difference if they all worked for the same goal, for the sake of the nation, you know? But over time, this will change. People are starting to see different things. People need to be open to each other, and we will be open. As long as the youth remains in the country, we will have hope. Allah told us that 8 hairs from Muhammad's beard are kept in this mosque. That is, once upon a time, some sultan who loved this city very much gave the city 8 hairs from the beard of the Prophet. And in this mosque, people always come here during Ramadan. They are put on display. People come and worship the beard. The most amazing, downright fascinating religion that exists here is the Druze faith. The Druze have their origins in Shia Islam, but many centuries ago, they separated from it and now have little in common with it, although their holy book is still the Quran. But there are some amazing features. For example, you cannot become a Druze. They don't have a way to accept faith. You can only be born a Druze to a Druze mother and father. They are allowed to renounce their faith. For example, if something threatens them, they can say, "No, I'm not a Druze. I'm actually someone else." The main thing is to keep faith within yourself, in your heart, and then it is not considered wrong. They believe in reincarnation, the transmigration of souls. They drink mate like Argentines in Latin America. And they can also replace prayer with meditation. Such amazing guys. Moreover, they live not only in Lebanon, but also in Syria and somewhere else in the region. So I hope to make a big separate story about them. The Prime Minister has all the real power. He is a Sunni Muslim, and he can do anything he wants. He is Sunni, and I am Sunni. I'm expected to support him then, but I don't. I need anyone, no matter what religion, even without religion at all, to make sure that he knows how to do his job and run the country. It's simple, because this system is many years old, but we haven't come to any results. And even in this state, we are unstable, we are moving backwards. The only way to fix this is to remove religion from politics. You are qualified to manage, so manage. If not, then don't. That's all. Do you think it's possible? I don't think so. Because even a lot of young people still support the religious system. Religion is deeply embedded in life here. That is, not just in politics. Here, religion is taught right from elementary school. And depending on what area you live in, Muslim or Christian, this will be the religion they teach you. And it may not even coincide with your own. We met a Lebanese man here. He is a Christian, but he lived in a Muslim area, so he studied Islam at school. There is an interesting story connected with this tank. On the birthday of the Prophet, which everyone celebrates here, this tank is filled with orange juice. And anyone can come and drink this orange juice for free. Look, some orange peels are still lying around there for some reason. Can you simply as a person publicly say that religion in this country is too much? I can't say that some religion is not needed here. I will be sent to prison by the law, because you cannot insult any religion. However, I can say that I don't agree with some things, that I have my own opinion. But they would isolate me from society. Like, don't talk to this guy, but no one will harm me. It's not as serious here as in Egypt or Saudi Arabia. We are more liberal, so at least you have the right to discuss. Yes, you can discuss in the right place with the right people. If I start discussing religions here, we won't get out of here in one piece. I'm serious. Lebanon has a very diverse ethnic composition of the population, but there are especially many refugees from Palestine and Syria. And there are so many refugees that there are refugee camps right inside Beirut, right inside the city. Actually, there is a feeling that the Lebanese lead a very carefree lifestyle. Here they are, sitting here since the early morning, smoking hookah, drinking tea, coffee. In the evening, everyone goes to restaurants. And despite the fact that there is a crisis and no one seems to have any money, nothing has changed even a bit. They sit outside in the morning. In the evening, you walk along the bar streets or restaurant streets, and every place is loaded with people, as if nothing is happening.
كاس الرؤوس مفكرين اصحاب المستوى ودي لسان بزيد بعد ما فلت في الابد الجوى الصداره وتاج الملك والاولويات ظابط مسار اللعب مثل حاجز معلومات مازال في ناس عم تلقط هيدا نصعب الفلوات.
Well guys, we came to, a friend brought us, who also doesn't want to be filmed, brought us to a shawarma shop. This friend said that this is the best shawarma in all of Lebanon, in the whole world. Let's give it a try. Wow, I'm actually going to act now as if I really enjoyed it. I just don't want to offend people. But it is very dry. There is not a drop of sauce, which was actually promised. Basically, it's nothing special, but let's be polite. How do Lebanese people generally spend their evenings? They gather outside, smoke hookah, drink tea, and play card games. While real men play some local serious game with calculations and strategy, we decided to teach our new Lebanese friend the game of Jenga.
Very hard options. Take that.
Show me some smoke. Wherever you go, in the neighborhood or in the city, you will see people with hookahs everywhere. Everyone is smoking and communicating. So this is the main social lubricant here, right? Yes. For our generation, and for the older ones too. This is our daily ritual. We finish work, come here, relax, smoke, and enjoy life. Maybe this is the reason for our happiness. I had a hard day at work. I came here, smoked, relaxed, and all my problems disappeared. I hate hookah because it is harmful to nature, bad for your lungs. After all, you are part of nature and it is bad for you. You are nature, why harm your own lungs? Guys, stop loving hookah. Everything is enough. And stop eating kebabs and shawarma. They are great, but I also love pies and all kinds of delicious food. Don't fixate on other cultures. You can have your own great culture. We do not criticize those who smoke hookah, but we advise them to quit because it is harmful to health. Leo? What do you want here? Don't let them in there. So look, the kid is also in some sort of military uniform and wearing a hat with a national flag. He doesn't like my uniform, because today is Lebanese Army Day. That's why we saw a lot of people with flags today. All over Beirut, you can see many buildings like this, shelled, dilapidated, with traces of bullets, with traces of shelling. And this is like a reminder of a very important period in the history of Lebanon. The thing is that until 1975, Lebanon was a rich, prosperous country, the financial center of the Middle East. But in 1975, the civil war began. Behind me is a Christian church that was destroyed under fire. And this is very symbolic because the civil war began with a conflict between Christian and Muslim groups. And then it was complicated by the entry of Syrian troops and complicated by attacks by the Israeli army. All in all, it's a big, complicated, long story. But in the context of our video, it is important to say that the war lasted 15 years and completely destroyed the economy of this once prosperous country. And now, we can not only see buildings like this all over Beirut, but now most Lebanese still have weapons at home. Which means that history could very easily repeat itself, especially given all the ethnic and religious diversity in the country. In fact, the conflicts have not vanished, and the spirit of these conflicts is still felt in the city. In such places there is razor wire fences, checkpoints, entire areas that cannot be entered just like that, in which it is even more impossible to film, because they are controlled by different groups. For example, Hezbollah. Hi. Hello, how are you? Good. What? YouTube? YouTube? Yeah. American? No, okay. ID? No, we don't have ID. It's in the hotel.
In this area, if you need any help.
No, we're okay. What is this area? We are just, we are traveling and making YouTube videos about our travel.
Just taking videos and you're taking some pictures.
Yeah.
Please, they need to check the pictures that you have.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Just show the guys the pictures that you got and the videos that you did.
Okay, no problem. Sure.
So, what just happened? We entered an area that, as it turns out, was controlled by Hezbollah. Hezbollah in Lebanon is a political party. At the same time, this is a paramilitary armed Islamic Shiite group, which here advocates the creation of an Islamic state, the same as in Iran. And, in fact, it is largely financed by Iran. There are entire areas of Beirut that are controlled by Hezbollah. They are the power there. There are checkpoints at the entrance. Flags hang everywhere, and unlike the rest of the city, filming there is strictly prohibited, without permission from some local authorities, apparently. So, some of those guys drew attention to us because we somehow walked in. We didn't even understand where we were. But thank God everything is fine. They checked what we filmed there today, but asked to delete only one thing: the recordings of portraits of the deceased soldiers. And this is also an interesting thing. All over the city, in Lebanon in general, there are lots of photos of men, guys most often with machine guns, who died. They died either in the civil war or in some other clashes here. Interethnic, interreligious, and so on. All this is displayed, as I see it, as something heroic. In general, these people are being heroized, and absolutely the entire city is a memorial to these deceased soldiers. And considering that everyone in the country has weapons, for me it's kind of, well, I don't know, it's wrong to do this if you want to keep the peace here. Hello, Eastern Europe, live from Erden, Lebanon. This is a cute little mountain village. We are at my creation, Hayes Sunset Bar. As you can see, it's the off-season already. It's starting to rain more often and it's cold. But we still want to make a nice video for you so that you come to Lebanon. I'm good, right?
Oh. So you see?
See, this is where I work. You are lucky, you have both sea and the mountains. Yes, we have everything in a 360-degree view. Let's go, I'll show you something you might like. See, Make Love, Not War. A nice artist from France came 5 years ago and painted these walls. That's all I can show you right now because everything else is already packed for the monsoon. From day one, I wanted to create a hub for the hipster community, for the youth, for everyone who is open to the world and respects everyone, starting with themselves. For those who love their country and return to it. People try not to travel anywhere without a really good reason because it is very expensive. If you want to fill the tank full, you will have to pay your entire salary, a month's salary for this. How much is that? About 1 million Lebanese liras, something like that. It's about $50. Now, the average salary here is between $50 and $100. The fuel crisis still has its advantages, since gasoline is now very expensive, and recently there was none at all. Beirut has become free of traffic jams. The whole city used to be stuck in traffic jams, and now cars are just parked everywhere, standing motionless in residential areas, like here. But you can drive around the city freely. You can get from any point to the other end very quickly. Lebanon has catastrophic problems with electricity because the state is not able to purchase energy. When we arrived in the evening. We were driving from the airport, and the outskirts of Beirut looked simply like scenes from post-apocalypse. It was just complete darkness, huge residential areas, and not a single lantern, not a single lamp was lit anywhere. The lights turn off constantly. In many places there are none at all. In principle, never. Shops without power, apartments are without power, especially everywhere outside the center of Beirut. People are simply forced to use generators, but the problem is that a very large part of the country's population doesn't have money for generators. So they are forced to live in darkness. What about electricity here? Do you have light? Well, here is the worst electricity in the world. So it's completely dark here at night? Yes, if you come in the evening, there is zero light. Are there generators or anything like that? There are, but they are very expensive. Here are some kids sitting in the dark behind a cellophane film and apparently doing their homework.
Hi guys. Do you speak English? No. French? I don't speak French anyway.
These huge structures on the roof, these are actually electric generators. They run on diesel and provide energy to this entire area of the old city. And if they weren't there, then this area would simply be in complete darkness, because the local government doesn't provide electricity to anyone here. This is our way of having electricity when everything goes out. Now the energy crisis is in full swing. The state provides electricity for only an hour or two a day. And this is the way to get light. These are private generators, and the owners receive all the profits. They're like family businesses. Yes, I studied energy at university. I'm an energy engineer. We've been doing research on how to fully power Lebanon, and it's very simple and very cheap. But the problem is with politicians. They don't want to do this. If they wanted to and invest money, everything would be done in a couple of months. This is a political problem. We pay 2 electricity bills, public and private. We can use solar energy, wind turbines. We have many rivers. They built a dam, but it was a bad dam. The studies were fake. Everything was a rig. We spent a lot of money, but it was of no use. Politicians made fake projects for their own benefit. Why don't they do it as it should be done? Well, they make money off of it. Millions of dollars.
They are making millions of dollars.
But they need people to support them, no? Well, they'll give you $100 before the election. You will take this 100 and vote for them again, and again, and again. And this has been the case for 20 years. So how much does it cost per month? Now they started charging in dollars, $85 for 5 amps. But you know, they don't have constant electricity either. It also gets shut down. So that you understand the scale, these are generators that are installed next to large residential apartment buildings to provide them with electricity. It's such a huge thing. I can't imagine how many gallons of diesel does it need. Are there people who cannot pay for electricity and live in the dark? Yes. So how do they survive? They're switching to solar panels and stuff. They use LEDs and live with 1 hour of light a day. Can you explain briefly what is the reason for this situation? The main reason is politics. Take the president. I have to respect him or I'll literally end up in jail. Basically, he was the Minister of Energy. He stole 48 million from the ministry, and we have had no electricity since then. I'm not blaming. I'm just saying that the government doesn't know how to deal with this. Due to electricity problems, traffic lights in the city do not work. But given the way the Lebanese drive, I guess there is no point in wasting precious energy on them, because it seems to me they never used them anyway. The sun will set in 15 minutes, and we'll see how dark it will be here. I'm very curious, because there is no state electricity here. And people, as I was told, cannot afford generators. Well, here is a typical Lebanese situation that we got into in Beirut. We were sitting in a decent hotel, and suddenly the lights went out. I was sitting, working, writing a script, and now there's no light. But it should turn on, I guess, any minute now, because the hotel does have a generator. The situation here is further aggravated by the fact that the sun sets at 5 o'clock in the evening.
Tell something about Lebanon for my video.
Speak in Arabic?
English.
English?
Yeah.
So Lebanon is it's so poor. So poor, no water, no electricity, no money. Everybody want to get money in Lebanon. All is bad. All is gahba.
But if everything is so bad, why are you partying all the time?
We pay because I'm rich, he's rich. We have money. We have our work. We have the green paper.
Okay, what do you do? What do you do for a living?
I'm do modeling and actor. I'm an actor.
I'm saying that I have in social media, 500,000 on Instagram, 200K on YouTube, have many business.
Soon I will have our own video clip. You can see me. GGGS.
What are young people doing in this whole situation? You really want the truth? You want me to shock you with the truth? They prepare a comfortable sofa in their parents' house, sit on it and watch life pass by. And they are waiting to see where everything will go. Our main question now is where we are going. I am one of them, and I know many young people who can no longer pay rent and have moved back in with their parents. Thank God we still have our families in Lebanon who can still accept us and completely understand us. Therefore, yes, we need to prepare a corner for ourselves in the living room, sit down, think and figure out where we are going. Where are we going? Where are we heading as the Lebanese and as Lebanon? This building behind me is very interesting. Before the Civil War, it was a movie theatre. It's called The Egg for its very particular shape. But the most interesting thing is that in 2019, the authorities wanted to introduce a tax on the use of WhatsApp. And people were so outraged by this that protests against it began here, in this egg. Then the protests gradually grew. A huge number of people became involved in them. Millions began to protest against everything in general, against the government, against unemployment, against the bad economy. The Prime Minister eventually resigned. And to this day, it remains a symbol of such protest in the country. On one of the walls, the famous phrase is written, "To the moon and back," but paraphrased and written like, "To the moon and never back," which directly describes the current situation very well, when Lebanese are simply leaving the country en masse. They were leaving during the Civil War and after it, and now there is a new big wave of migration because everyone says that there is nothing left to do here, there is no future here anymore, and everyone who can leave is leaving. Can you tell us about the square? What happened here? You showed me a picture. What kind of event was it? We took to the streets against all politicians. We had a slogan. All of them means all of them. We are not for any of them. We are against all of them. They all must go. They are all murderers, corrupt officials, and we don't need those people. People gathered around 2 in the afternoon and until 10 or 11 in the evening. Then they went home, woke up, went to work, and then came here again. How long did it last? About 2 or 3 months, probably. The turning point was when the DJ came and went upstairs, and everyone started coming. It all turned into a party.
They turned it like a party.
Yes, people up there took the microphone and made speeches. But this was not a real revolution. Do you believe that something can change? I believe in change. I believe it must happen, otherwise life will remain the same. We will still be sitting on the old sofa, or just work a little, have no money, stuck here and lost all dreams and ambitions. Change will come. Change is needed. Of course, not quickly and not on a large scale. We must work on this, but we need at least some kind of start. With the upcoming elections, we must vote correctly. Vote for yourself, for your vision, for your views. And only by voting for new people, we can get the changes we need. So what was the outcome of those protests? Nothing. Nothing? Absolutely zero. But how is it possible? Because we haven't made a real revolution. There were no real protests. The president is still in place. The Speaker of Parliament is still there. The only one who left was the Prime Minister because he resigned. We cannot wait for the government or responsible officials to give us a solution. We ourselves must find it. We must remove them and say that we want these specific people to represent us. We didn't do this. They gave us a person. We show that we don't like the new one. And then they changed them. Then they changed them again and again, until we agree. If everyone leaves and there is no one left here, what will happen to the country? We love our country, but I love myself more. We are in big trouble, but we are alive. I'm having a good time. Right now, I'll go have a drink. You need to live somehow. This is the situation, but you need to accept it. We all accept the situation. It's terrible, but we will live and enjoy it. 40 years have passed since the Civil War, since we trusted them with our lives and dreams. They have done nothing but fill their pockets by stealing people's money and doing nothing for infrastructure, for the people. Without providing job opportunities, they did nothing. I just started living, and my parents worked all their lives and saved their earnings. All the money was in the bank, in lira. Then the market collapsed, and with it, the liras. And all their savings, all their life and their work are all in vain. You should go ask them. They lost everything. But for me, this is just the start. I didn't lose anything. I'll work to get started. Now I'm looking for a new start, abroad. How old are you? I'm 23. Ah, okay. I think it will be a hard life, but I will do everything to survive and stay here for as long as it is possible to live here. But if it becomes unbearable, I will leave again, unfortunately. So there's a limit? There's a limit, of course, if it is simply impossible to live anymore. But I'll try to take a deep breath and stay as long as I can. I hope countries with similar situations learn something from Lebanon's experience before it's too late. So write in the comments below what you think about this whole situation, and in general, about Lebanon as a country, about the local people. This was Leonid from Lebanon, and I'm heading back home. Bye.